The dusk light spilled through the narrow window of the shared dormitory module as Liam sat at his desk reviewing the day's data logs. The Orbital Academy had assigned everyone mixed-species living quarters to encourage cross-cultural cooperation. But Liam had never imagined that this rule would one day shape both the direction of his work and the fate of more than one world. His roommate Rin, a slender being with pale shimmered skin and a voice that often startled humans with its layered tones, had been quiet all day. Usually Rin hummed while studying, sometimes producing unfamiliar harmonics that made the walls vibrate slightly. But today the room had been silent, and Liam found the stillness both restful and oddly tense. When the door slid open, he expected the familiar chime that always preceded Rin's return. Instead, the panel moved with a soft whisper, and Rin stepped inside without announcement. The alien's eyes, normally bright with curious energy, carried a strained focus. Rin's arrival at dusk, unannounced and almost urgent, made Liam's shoulders tense. Still, he kept his voice steady. "Long day," he said .ri and approached with a fluid stride unfamiliar to human motion. Even after months as roommates, Liam sometimes found himself studying the way Rin moved, the way jointed limbs bent with a controlled grace. Rin stopped beside the desk and tilted the head slightly. "Human Liam," Rin said. "Allow me to assist you." The tone was calm, yet something in it carried a gravity that Liam had never heard before. He turned from his screen and studied Rin's expression. The alien's people did not smile the way humans did, nor frown, nor show emotion in familiar lines. Instead, the skin along the temples shifted in soft patterns, like ripples on a pond. Right now, those ripples were tight and narrow. "Help me with what?" Liam asked. R. extended a hand toward the holographic logs hovering above the desk. "Your analysis is nearing critical error threshold. You pursue outcomes that you should not attempt alone." Liam blinked at that. The logs tracked the Academy's joint research project, one intended to improve deep space shielding units for vessels operating at extreme sublight speeds. A strange energy field had been detected at the outer rim of the system, and the research groups were tasked with analyzing its nature. Human scientists had made steady progress, but the alien teams had their own approaches, often abstract and instinctive. Liam had spent days trying to merge two incompatible sets of data. Progress was slow. "How do you know I'm making mistakes?" he asked. Rin's gaze did not shift. "I know because the field we study is older than my species. You attempt to break it apart as if it were common interference. It is not." The statement stilled Liam's breath. Rin was young by the standards of the species, but even the young carried ancestral knowledge. They communicated it in ways humans could not fully comprehend. Liam leaned back slightly. "You've never said anything like that before," he said. Rin finally blinked, a slow gesture meaning emphasis in that culture. "The time was not correct until now. The Academy will soon ask for independent reports. If you submit your analysis, events may accelerate in undesirable ways. Let me help you correct your path." Liam turned to face the hovering diagrams again. He had been mapping energy fluctuations and trying to identify repeating cycles. Most of the shapes looked random to him, but he suspected there must be a pattern. Every shift meant something. Every dip in frequency, every surge in intensity. He had begun to see hints of structure, but he lacked certainty. Rin took a seat on the lower bunk and folded the long fingers neatly. "Human Liam," Rin said again, "your species sees more than you believe. You notice details quickly. Humans find symmetry even when not searching for it. That is why the Academy wants your people involved. But you also assume everything must be reduced to familiar forms. That is why I am here." The light dimmed as the sun fell below the curvature of the orbit. Only the hover screen lit the room now. Liam found himself studying Rin's posture. The alien rarely intruded into his work. To come at dusk, without waiting, meant urgency. "All right," Liam said. "Show me what I'm missing." Rin shifted forward and extended one hand over the projection. The fingers emitted a faint glow that caused the hologram to shiver. New lines appeared, new segments connected. Liam watched as the shapes he had struggled to decipher for hours rearranged themselves into layered spirals. Something clicked behind his eyes. A recognition he had been chasing suddenly came into focus. "These aren't random," he said. "No," Rin replied. "They're directional." "Yes." Liam leaned closer. "They form currents." Rin touched the air again, bringing up another segment. "They form more than currents. They form a pathway." Liam felt a chill pass through him. A pathway to where? Rin did not answer immediately. Instead, Rin rotated the entire hologram. What Liam had assumed to be surface distortion resolved into depth structure. Layers nested within layers. The field wasn't simply a weird space anomaly. It was a corridor, or something similar. "This can't be natural," Liam said. Rin's rippling temples shifted in a slow wave. "It is not." The weight of that truth hovered between them. Liam's mind raced. If the structure wasn't natural, then someone or something had built it. But the energy required would be enormous. Even the most advanced species in the Academy had limits. "Who built it?" Liam asked. Rin inhaled deeply. A soft resonant hum vibrated through the room. "My people do not know. But ancient records suggest a species that moved through the stars long before current civilizations rose. They left structures in places where space bends easily. The Academy believes the field is a relic of that era. And the Academy didn't tell us that." "They suspect," Rin said. "But they do not know. Humans adapt quickly. Your creativity is valuable. But the Academy is cautious about unverified claims. They want each species to reach its own conclusions." Liam rubbed his forehead. The thought of accidentally misidentifying a structure of ancient origin made his work seem suddenly heavy. "So I was about to submit an incomplete and possibly wrong interpretation." Rin nodded. "Yes, and you didn't say anything until now." "The dusk hour is when choice is settled," Rin replied. "I chose to intervene when the path became clear." Liam exhaled. "Well, I appreciate the timing." Rin tilted the head again. "Good, then you will accept my help." Liam smiled faintly. "I'd be foolish not to." Rin stood and moved to the other side of the desk. "Then we begin now." The alien's fingers glowed again, shifting the hologram into a spinning configuration. Liam took his tablet and began marking observations. As Rin layered additional structures into view, Liam found his understanding sharpening. The field's interior swirled with forces that behaved almost like fluid dynamics. The pathway Rin mentioned became clear. It wasn't a tunnel, but a series of connected void points, each stabilized by the surrounding energy. Liam's single quotes, as heart quickened as he realized what it meant. "This could be a navigation system," he said. "A network of nodes that lets ships travel without burning fuel." Rin lowered the hand. The hologram stilled. "That is one possibility." Liam stared at Rin, but not the only one. "No. What else could it be?" Rin hesitated. The hesitation itself was telling. "A boundary," Rin said. "A boundary for what?" Rin stepped back, giving Liam space to consider the data. A boundary used to contain something. Liam felt the air around him shift. The idea of containment changed everything. If the structure held something inside, then removing or damaging the field could unleash forces unknown. He swallowed hard. "So the Academy asking for reports," he said, "means they might start testing soon." "Yes, and if the tests interfere with this structure, They might weaken the containment. Yes, Liam pushed back from the desk. We need to warn them. Rin folded the hands neatly. We will, but they will not believe only me. My species holds the reputation of ancient superstition. The Academy values your analytical precision. You must present the findings. They will trust a human perspective. Liam understood now why Rin had come urgently at dusk, why the alien's voice carried layers of concern, why the hologram rippled under Rin's touch. The time to act had arrived. Then we worked through the night, Liam said. I nodded. Agreed. They spent hours combining the alien sensory interpretation with human analytical methods. Liam translated Rin's intuitive spatial understanding into measurable vectors. Rin refined Liam's equations by modeling them in four-dimensional patterns only the alien mind could fully grasp. Together, they built a complete model of the field structure. By the time dawn approached, the hologram had grown into a complex lattice of nodes, currents, and stabilizing layers. Liam stepped back to admire the result. This is unbelievable, he said. Rin touched the projection gently. It is beautiful. Beauty is often misunderstood, but your species seeks understanding even in uncertainty. That is why I trust you. Liam felt a subtle warmth at those words. Coming from Rin, who often avoided personal statements, it held weight. He sat down again, preparing the presentation that would go before the Academy. They're going to question everything, he said. Yes, Rin replied. But they will listen. By midday, they submitted a request for an urgent meeting. Representatives from 5 species arrived. Liam stood at the center while Rin waited behind him. As the hologram activated, the room filled with shimmering spirals. Liam spoke clearly, explaining the field structure, its likely purpose, and the risks involved in destabilizing it. Questions came rapidly.